Hello everybody, it's your DNA Angel here with my first video on the channel. I am super excited. I'm going to be doing a video series titled An Idiot's Guide to DNA for anybody out there who is like me and maybe needs a little extra instruction, step-by-step guides on everything DNA because I absolutely love this game and I want to make sure that as many players as possible can love it as much as I do. So today, for the first video, we're actually going to be going over, and you can tell by the title of this video, Geniemon. So we'll start from the very beginning with this. And I mean like Honors Biology 101, defining biology. What is a Geniemon? Well, if you go into your armory, and you go up at the top here, past your weapons, you'll see Geniemon. If you click on this, you'll see all the Geniemon you have. And it can be a little bit overwhelming because if you've been playing the game for a little while, you might have a lot of them. And if you're new, you might have none of them. And this is where you can see your Geniemon. And we'll go into everything about this screen a little bit later. I want to start from, like I said, the very beginning. What is Geniemon? They are these little guys, and there's a lot of different ones that you can collect. They're all super adorable. But what they do is they have different abilities, basically, that can help you throughout the game. And we'll go over some of that a little bit later as well. Like I said, I want to take this kind of step by step so that hopefully it makes a little more sense because it confused the heck out of me when I started. It felt overwhelming and I struggled to really get into understanding Geniemon because it just felt so overwhelming. So, to start off with, how do you get Geniemon? Well, that is actually super easy. They can be found throughout the overworld. You can find them just about anywhere, to be honest with you. I found some in town. If you just pick a spot on the map and run around, you will eventually find Geniemon. And as you can see here, there's one actually right there. And this is what a Geniemon looks like out in the world. They just kind of float around here. They don't run away from you. They don't do anything like that. You can actually see or spot a Geniemon on the map because you can see that little column of color and sparkles that come off of it. That's a good way to tell if there's a Geniemon in your area. You just follow that and you will find your little Geniemon. And when you come up to them, you get the option to feed them. And when you click on that, it'll open up this screen. Now, this screen tells you basically the rarity of the Geniemon. You can see here there are stars beneath its name. That tells you what rarity the Geniemon is. This one is a 2-star rarity. And here you have a couple of options. You can feed your Geniemon, and you have to feed them to catch them. You have 3 different levels of food that you can feed them. You have an infinite number of the green ones, and then you have blue ones and purple ones as well. And I'll show you how to get those, so don't worry about that. But first you have to decide, okay, you want to catch this Geniemon. So if I select the blue one, you can see how this bar changes color. This tells you how difficult it's going to be to catch this Geniemon. Your goal is to get your little cursor in the little mini game in the center color, whatever the center color is. And basically, this orange color means it's going to be harder to catch. This yellow color means it's going to be easier. If I click on this, you see this, what was orange turned yellow, and we got this big green bar in the middle. The big green bar in the middle basically means you're going to catch this Geniemon no matter what. And see if I click this, suddenly it turns into 100% up. That means you are absolutely going to catch this Geniemon, no doubt about it. As soon as you click confirm, you've caught this Geniemon, essentially. So you can kind of decide which rarity of food you want to give them, depending on the Geniemon, and not all of them will give you 100% up with the top ranked food. This one will because it's a lower ranked Geniemon, so it's easier to catch. But for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and click this. We're going to click confirm, and you see how this starts to move. You just want to get it in the very center, in the center color. And then it shows you that little circular bar that'll basically tell you if you've managed to catch your Geniemon. Now, you've caught yourself a Geniemon. Congratulations, that was the easy part. So, now you have yourself a Geniemon. But what do you do with it? Well, if you go back to your armory, you go back to your Geniemon. all of the ones you caught will show up here. And now you have options. So we're just going to select this little guy to use as an example right now. Here, this screen tells you everything about this Geniemon. You see Geniemon support. It says it continuously heals self and allies, restoring 2.7% of their max HP per second for 10 seconds. If I click on this one, it's different. This one deals Lumino damage. This one also heals self and allies. So each Geniemon does something a little bit different. And they also have passive skills, which give you buffs. So they all have different abilities and they can help in different circumstances. Everybody talks about Broboxy. Everybody talks about Broboxy. Broboxy, Broboxy, Broboxy. You'll hear him all the time. And he deals damage, but that is not what everybody talks about. It's not his damage that's important. It's the passive skill, the auto pickup rate. An experience gained from defeating enemies is plus 10%, and a 10% chance to drop bonus loot. It's his passive skill that everybody is talking about. As you can see, and just using Broboxy here as an example. You can see how I have two Broboxies here, but they look different. Geniemon come in regular, and they come in shiny. And as you can see down here, here's another one. Oh, here's another regular one, and another shiny. You can see they look a little bit different in their cursor, and their colors are a little different. These are important for a couple of different reasons. For one, it's a collector thing. Some people like to collect all of the different types and rarities, but the main thing that a shiny gives you is you see how there are these little bubbles. And this Brobox, he has 3 little bubbles. But if I click on his shiny, he has 4 little bubbles. These bubbles are very important, and I will explain the bubbles in a little bit. First, I want to talk about just the first thing you can do with this Geniemon. You caught yourself a Geniemon, you're right here, you can see its support and you can see its passive skill. And maybe you're like, okay, I like this Geniemon. Maybe it's your only Geniemon. Or you just like this Geniemon for its ability. You can deploy and you can upgrade. Upgrade is basically, it's the level up. Like you have to level up your characters, you have to level up your weapon. Well, you have to level up your Geniemon as well. And a big thing to keep in mind, do not ever use Geniemon to level up Geniemon. You want to keep your Geniemon, and I will explain why later. So even though it gives you the option to feed your Geniemon to this Geniemon to level it up, don't do it. You want to use these top 3 things here. These are Yum Cream, and Yum Yum Cream, and Yum 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 Cream. And I'll show you where you can get these as well. But you want to use these to level up your Geniemon instead. And here you can see it goes from level 1 to level 2. You can ascend Geniemon just like you ascend characters. So let's go ahead and feed him until he gets to level 20. Here you can see max level reached. So I can upgrade him. And now he is level 20. Now, to ascend a Geniemon, you need what's called Yum Yum Milk. You've probably heard about it before. People talk about it all the time. If you click on this, you can see it is only available in the Immersive Theater shop. So if you click on the Immersive Theater shop, you go to Memento, and you can see I've already bought my Yum Yum Milk for this go round. But you can also find that if you just go to shop, it'll be the Memento shop. But you need Yum Yum Milk to ascend your Geniemon. And you can tell if they're ascended by these little stars up here. As you can see, my shiny Broboxy and my Broboxy have both been ascended 1 time. So that's leveling up and ascending your Geniemon. And as you level them up and ascend them, here, even though it says I can ascend it, it wants me to feed my regular Broboxy, which I will not do. But you can see ascending them and leveling them up upgrades their passive skill. So they gain basically more stats and a bigger buff for you. So that is leveling and ascending your Geniemon. So now that you have leveled and ascended your Geniemon, we need to talk about this little button up here. Active Geniemon and inactive Geniemon. Because this is where these little bubbles are going to come into play. So, these bubbles are traits. And this is where things get a little bit complicated. Each Geniemon can have different traits assigned to them. And basically, traits you get from other Geniemon. So, you see here where it says select a Geniemon to merge. If I click on this, it gives me this whole list of different Geniemon that I have. And as you can see, gluttonous auto pickup range 2 meters. That's what this trait does. Frugal increases loot drop rate by 5%. That's what that trait does. Wise, experience gained by defeating enemies plus 5%. So each one of these different Geniemon, and you can see what their trait is down below their picture, they give you different buffs that you can give to your active Geniemon. And these buffs have different levels, just like everything else. So you see here, you see this little Geniemon, you see how I have ironclad, and this one is blue, but this one right next to it, this ironclad is purple. And you see how down here, this death is yellow. Those are your different levels. This is important because you don't want to give your active Geniemon low level traits. You can if that's all you've got and you're just working with, a low level Geniemon and you're going to upgrade it later. That's totally fine. But for the majority of the time, you don't want to use low level traits. You want to try to get these gold traits or yellow traits. So you can get them in a couple of different ways. Sometimes when you just hatch a Geniemon, if it's a higher rarity, it will have a higher rarity trait attached to it. However, there's another option. And if we go back, and this is where we go to inactive Geniemon. Here you'll see all of your inactive Geniemon that have different traits. And you see this very first one, Ethereal Jellymon. You see how down here it gives me the option to raise. If I click on this, you can see Ironclad can go from blue to purple. I'll click on this, and here you see I have 2 Geniemon that are Ironclad that I could feed it. I don't have a third one, so I can't upgrade it all the way. But you see how here the defense percent goes from 8 to 16? That's the upgraded stat for getting it from blue to purple. So this is why you want to collect as many Geniemon as possible so that you can get all the way up to those gold traits. Let me see if I can find a purple one so I can show you. Here's a purple one. Okay. If I click raise on a purple one, you see you go from purple to gold. You need 3 purple ones in order to get a gold one, and you need 3 blue ones to get a purple one. So collecting as many Geniemon as possible is the trick here. Like, that is the key. Just go out and collect Geniemon so you can upgrade them. Now, I go back to my Geniemon. You have to have ascended Geniemon. You see how all of these are locked? That's because he's not been ascended. You have to ascend a Geniemon before you can unlock traits. You see this one's been ascended, so I can unlock a trait for him. If I get him the next ascension, I can unlock another trait, and the next ascension can unlock another trait. Little Bro Boxy. Shiny Bro Boxy has 2 traits at the first ascension because he's a shiny. Now, the Battle Pass Geniemon are different. Battle Pass Geniemon are special. This one here is a Battle Pass Geniemon. You can see all 4 traits are available for this Geniemon. So, you have your Geniemon, and it's been ascended, and you want to add a trait. We go back here, you can see all of your different traits. People talk a lot about at peace. This one here, this little guy here, at peace, auto reel-in enabled. This is for fishing. People talk about it all the time. It's going to be available in the fishing shop. Well, let's say you want to go ahead and give this trait to your Geniemon. Here you see, auto reel-in, unlock trait. Super simple, right? I'm not going to do that just yet, but this is how you add traits to your Geniemon. and that will give the Geniemon that particular trait. So that is how you add traits to Geniemon. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is all of your resources. I'm going to talk about where to get the food to catch your Geniemon, where to get the Yum Yum cream. We already saw the Yum Yum milk is in the Memento shop, which I will show you, like I said, if you just go to shops and you go here to Bustling Marketplace. You see here Memento shop, Yum Yum milk. So what about the rest of it? The food that you can get to feed your Geniemon. If you go to Forage, you can find it in Materials. I had to scroll all the way down to the bottom, but here you see Yum Treat and Yum Yum Treat at times 10. That's the important thing. Each time you forge one of these, you get 10 of them. Oh, I am in the way again. Goodness gracious, let me move me. Over here. There we go. I'm over here now for a little bit. This side of the world looks so different. Okay, so here you see Yum Yum Treat and Yum Treat. And you can get them, if you click on this, it'll show you found in Ice Lake Sewers, found in Ice Lake Sewers. And here you can find them in the Thawing Caverns and the Glevum Pit. They are overworld areas. You just have to explore around, do some mining, do some collecting. But you can craft these treats to catch Geniemon right from your foraging menu. So what about the Yum Yum cream? That you can find if you go into the Bustling Marketplace again. You go to Ice Lake Fisheries, into items. Here you can actually fish for Yum Yum cream if you would like. And this gives you the purple level of the Yum Yum cream. So here you can see, yes, that's the Yum Yum cream. So that is all of your resources for how to catch Geniemon and how to level up Geniemon and how to ascend Geniemon. So that should be everything to cover for the topic of Geniemon. If there's anything that you want to hear me go over next, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you found this helpful at all, a like on the video would be super helpful. I really do appreciate you all, and I had a whole lot of fun making this video and learning about Geniemon, so I'm excited to cover whatever topic you guys want to hear about next. Thank you so much for joining me on today's adventure. I hope you guys have a fun time playing DNA and as much fun as I'm having with it. So until next time, bye bye!